Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. Well, we're going to talk Cavs today. We're going to talk the Eastern Conference Final and the Western Conference Final. But first, here's the trivia question of the day on Scott Sports 101. Who did the Philadelphia Sixers draft with the last pick of the 1983 NBA draft? A. Ralph Sampson. B. Clyde Drexler. C. A 49-year-old pharmacist. Or D. Dominic Wilkins. I will have the answer later in the broadcast. What now? After being blown out. Oh shit! After getting blown out in Game 1 Sunday, the Cavs lost Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, 102-94. LeBron had 42 points, but it wasn't enough. The Cavs are down 2-0 in the best in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavs dominated the first half, but in the second half, the Cavs just flat out fell to pieces. The defense looked horrendous. The offense kept up their part. I felt the Cavs gave the Celtics too much room to score, and the Cavs were also making too many bad three-point shooting attempts and two-point shooting attempts as well. They really need to put the pressure on the Celtics and be more aggressive and score points in the paint. Having said that, I feel these next two games, Game 3 and Game 4, are must-wins for the Cavs. And Game 3 is Saturday at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Turning to the Western Conference Final now between the Warriors and the Houston Rockets, I still feel that the Golden State Warriors have the edge, but the team's just not there like what it was when they were playing the Cavs the past 2 years in the NBA Finals. And between Curry and Durant and Jamal Green, it's not there like what it once was. They're not the team that they once were, but they still dominate. Don't get me wrong. And the Houston Rockets are really putting up a good fight, even though the Warriors have a 1-0 lead. And I still feel that the Warriors have the edge in this series, and I am saying Warriors in 6. That being so, the Eastern Conference Finals, I am sure that the Cavs will come back and win the next 2 games straight. And I'm still going Cavs in 6. So keep that in mind. The Cavs really need to step it up and come back and win these next 2 games. And that they are must-wins, to say the least. Now, and I feel that the Cavs are just not getting the breaks, and it just was not going their way. And I thought J.R. Smith did not score at all last night, like he did it with Toronto and with Indiana, and like in Game 1, even though they were blown out 108-83. But J.R. Smith did not score at all last night, and I thought there were some bad calls made as well. And the other thing, and I got to say, J.R. needs to step up his game, but he will. I feel that he will do that. Along with, even though Kevin Love and Kyle Korver, they scored in double figures and really helped LeBron out, but they need to have more players in double figures during each and every game during the NBA playoffs besides the regular season. And that is very true. And the other question is, will LeBron be a Cleveland Cavalier next season? I'm not sure if he will, but I'm hoping that he will come back. I'm going to give the Cavs the wide a chance to really see what kind of offer they can come up with, because I know a lot of other teams are going to have a lot of offers from as well. So we'll see what happens if LeBron will be back or if he goes with another team as well. And I feel that the NBA nowadays in the NBA, there has to be just dominance with each and every game. Yes, the Cavs have the 8th pick in the NBA draft, and they could not get into one of the top picks. And the Phoenix Suns got it, but they need to draft a player that's going to be a hit, because they had less for so many years. Austin Carr was a hit. Campy Russell, a hit. Ron Harper, a hit. Craig Elo, a hit. Brad Daugherty, a hit. LeBron James, a hit. I mean, you've got to have players that are going to contribute to the game. That's the bottom line right there. The bottom line, you've got to trade up when it is the right time. And I'm hoping that Tyronn Lue really thinks this through, and also Dan Gilbert, and they make the right pick with this 8th pick and trade up when it is the right time. Because the big question is, with LeBron, we're not sure LeBron's going to be back next year, but we don't want the Cavs to take a major fall. The question is, do we take another run at another championship, or do we let the Cavs take a fall and have a rebuilding year? I feel they really need to find a way to give LeBron a good offer and keep them there. But on the other hand, I feel LeBron may or may not be back with us next year, and we may have to find another player that's a hit to really make the Cavs really be back in the playoffs again next year. So that being said, I've got to tell you, they really need to really step it up in the playoffs. And LeBron, he needs help from his players, but they need to score 3 points, but not score them all the time. They need to score 2 points and really keep in the game, but yet put the pressure on the Celtics. Don't give them much room to score. Score them in the paint. Keep the pressure on the Celtics. Double team them if you have to. And that's what the bottom line is right there. And the Rockets have to do the same thing with the Warriors. They've got to double team them if they have to. Really put the pressure. Be aggressive. I mean, I feel they need to win Game 2 and tie it up tonight. So, and you can see Game 2 of the Western Conference Final at 8 o'clock on TNT. And having said that, I want to just say that I just really feel we need to make it. Hopefully, I feel that I'm still going. My prediction with the Eastern Conference Finals is Cavs in 6. I feel that they will not only win these next 2 games, are must-wins, Game 3 and Game 4, and they will win Game 3 and Game 4. And I'm saying they will not only win Game 3 and Game 4, I feel they will win Game 5 in Boston, and they will win Game 6 back here in Cleveland. They're going to look at their mistakes. They're going to study Boston. They're going to look at the offense and defense and really study them and look at themselves and what they need to do to win these next 2 games that are must-wins. Excuse me. And that being said, it is now time for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Who did the Philadelphia Sixers draft with the last pick of the 1983 NFL Draft? If you said C, a 49-year-old pharmacist, you are correct. The 76ers owner, Harold Katz, took 49-year-old Norman Horvitz out of Philadelphia College School of Pharmacy. And it was believed then that that Katz and Horvitz were poker buddies. And that is quite ironic, I feel. But yeah, it is really ironic to have that kind of a trivia ironic, I feel. We'll have another trivia question next time. But getting back to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals and talking Cavs here, I feel, do we let a season in here or do we make another run at a championship? That's what I asked before, and I feel that we really need to show more, that they need to really come out. The Cavs need to come out in Game 3 and dominate and be aggressive from the get-go and never let up. Keep the momentum going. Get a good cushion with the lead and hold it. Don't let the Celtics get back in the game. You've got to not give them more room to score and not give one player a chance to go up and slam dunk that ball for 2 points. Those are some of their mistakes. And I feel if they can correct them, they can really come out and have a dominant game. Because I can agree with what Campy Russell said last night. They need to be more dominant, more aggressive, and score in the paint. And I can agree with with Campy Russell on that. So, and with the Western Conference Final, I just feel the Rockets need to really come out and dominate. And I feel they need to be more aggressive with the Warriors and score in the paint as well. But with the Warriors, it's just not there. They're just, it was close, but they're just not there. It's not the team that they once were. And Stephen Curry, he just sometimes get cocky, but I got to tell you, he's not being the player that he once was. He's not playing as well as what he should be. And he's been fighting injuries all season, a good portion of the season, excuse me. And yeah, he battled back, but he still does dominate, along with Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. So I still feel that the Warriors have the edge in this series, and I'm saying Warriors in 6. So we shall see what happens when the Warriors and Rockets go at it again tonight at 8 o'clock on TNT. So, what does this feel what does this entail for the Cavs? And getting back to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I feel, what does it entail for the two teams, the Cavs and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, plus the Warriors and the Rockets and the Houston Rockets in the Western Conference Finals? I mean, this series can go either way. And I think they're going to both be tight series. It's not going to be a sweep for either series by any means. So, I just feel that both the Cavs and Rockets have to be dominant with the teams that they are playing at both the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. So, I really feel that I think the Rockets are going to tie it up tonight. I really think they're going to take Game 2. And I feel that so that's how I feel about tonight's game. And let's see, and we'll find out what the Cavs do more in Game 3 on Saturday. And the Tribe was up 5-1 and and then went up 6-1 in the 7th. But then Andrew Miller, but then the Tigers, thanks to Andrew Miller, blew the game wide open and went up 9-6. Tribe came back and scored, and came back and was down 9-8, but that ended up being the final 9-8. So we'll see if the Cavs can avoid, the Tribe can avoid a sweep of the Tigers. They won the first game. See if they can take 2 out of 3 off the Tigers, and hopefully win that against the Tigers. And you can see that game at 7:10 on Sports Time Ohio. Tom Hamilton with the call. Well, we're almost out of time, and I want to just go back to talking about the Cavs and the NBA draft. They need to really find something that's really going to be a contributing factor to this team, who's really going to really contribute to that and play really well with this team if LeBron James is back here next year, or find a player that's going to be a hit and really a star to really help out Kevin Love and Kyle Korver, who were in double figures in Game 2 last night. So, bottom line is they really need to find someone with this 8th pick in the draft. So, So, they really need to find someone in this 8th, with the 8th pick in the draft, that's really going to be a hit and really stand out and really contribute to the Cleveland Cavaliers ball club. And I just feel they need, and this is not, and I feel they really need to trade up when it's the right time. And Kevin Love and Kyle Korver, they scored in double figures, but I think J.R. Smith needs to really come back and really start scoring again, because he did not score a single point. And Jordan Clarkson, I thought he had his best game last night, and also in Game 1, and also with Game 4 with Toronto. And I feel they need, but Clarkson needs to come back and score in double figures, as well as Larry Nance Jr. And I was saying, as I saw that Jordan Clarkson, I'm sorry about that, needs to come back and score in double figures, and also Larry Nance Jr. I'm sorry for repeating myself. I do apologize. But they need to score from in the paint and really dominate in Game 3. Well, that's going to wrap it up for another edition of Scott Sports 101. Remember, always be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.